Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. Celtic today have been linked with another midfield player. Now, when you think about the fact that we've got Tomoki Iwata, who can't get a game, Odin, Kwon, Paulo Bernardo, that we've still to see, who's on loan from Benfica with an option to buy at the end of the season. Is it really an important position to be looking at the moment for Celtic? Ohm's the only one that's been given any game time under Brendan Rodgers this season, out with the ones that are playing on a consistent basis. And then you look into the mix as well, that Yokosuke Ideguchi is out on loan. Is it the right time for Celtic to be looking for another Korean midfield player? Or does this suggest that Celtic think that they're going to be minus a midfield player or two next summer? Tell me your thoughts about it in the comments. One of the interesting pieces of information that came out today is that Celtic made in prize money last year £30,184,076 for winning the league. For winning the league, Celtic won £3,843,700. £3,843,700. Just under £4 million, just for winning the league. The Scottish Cup, we did win the Scottish Cup, and that took us to £609,000 for the Scottish Cup. And the League Cup, last year, obviously won the League Cup. Also part of that famous treble that we won last year, we got in prize money for that, £458,000. And in Europe's where we made our money. Europe is where we made our most money last year, £25,273,376, which gives us that grand total of just over 30 million. When you look at the money that Celtic actually have at the bank, we must have done quite well with transfers in that last season also. And you remember that the accounts for this year didn't include Jota, so the ones that next set accounts that come out will. So that's a fantastic amount of money that we've obviously made. Rangers were in second place with, obviously they made 21 million. Only 9 million behind us in prize money. They made over 17 million in Europe. And then Hearts were not far behind. Hearts actually did not bad. They won just under 5 million in Europe. They won 7 million in total in prize fund. Now let's get back to some Celtic news. Obviously the fact that Celtic have been linked with this Korean player Jung Ho-Yeon. Ho-Yeon. I'm never going to get that one right. Anyway, I think we've been successful in that market before, but is it the right time? It's always the winter transfer window that we try and bring these players in. Obviously, it comes to the end of their season, and it's a good time to get these players in and get them bed them into the team. But the question really has to be asked, if we go out and buy a player that's going to be another kind of project player, we really need to be bringing in players that are going to be first team ready. And is this guy going to be first team ready? Tell me what you think about that in the comments section. And I do value all the comments, even though the comment section is pretty mad just now. Anyway, Celtic have signed another midfield player, another one. Young Jacob Donnelly has signed for Celtic, youth player. He will see his new 3-year contract start off in July. He was linked with a few teams down south, but he'll go into the academy, and it's going to be one of these things again. Look, if these guys are good enough to play for Celtic in the academy and we bring them through the system, they need to start bringing them into the first team, because I would rather that we sold 10 Kieran Tierney's in 10 years than bring players in and spend some crazy amount of money bringing players in. You've got the language barrier and everything else. It's about time that Celtic actually started getting a better return for its investment in the B team, if you ask me, and that's just personally. Anyway, talking about a player that can't even get a game for Celtic just now, but he gets a game for his country, he has been speaking to his national press, is Gustav. But Gustav has been speaking about the fact that he's struggling for game time at Celtic, and he has been asked about that by his country in Sweden, and they've been asking the fact that, look, you were playing every week at your team, and he said, look, we've got Liam Scales, and we have also a lot of other defenders at the club. He says, when you look at it, we've got Carter Vickers, Nat Phillips, and you've got Rocky, and Rocky's obviously out injured. He says there's fierce competition for game time. Obviously being on international duty, he was asked about his diminishing game time at Celtic. He says, look, there's going to be squad rotation. The manager wants to see us all play, he went on to say, and he said, I don't know. I says, why he's been left out, he doesn't know. He said it's all about squad rotation. It's not something that's overly worrying about, and it's something that, the first time he thought about it when he was asked the question by his national media, and we thought the Scottish media were bad. Alistair Johnston will come up against two Celtic players on Friday evening. Now he comes up against Kyogo and Rio Hatate. And you're thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, that's going to be some game to watch. Canada taking on Japan in a friendly Friday night, Japan time. It's about lunchtime, Celtic part time. And, when you think about it, what if he was to cause an injury to any two of those Celtic players? Yes. And I wonder who will get the bragging rights at the end of the day, because let's face it, he has played, I think it's 37 times. 37 times he's played for Canada. Kyogo's not really had that many games for Canada, and he's definitely not been first choice, that's for sure. They were also talking about the fact that there's sushi restaurants. There's bound to be some decent sushi restaurants in Glasgow. Anyway, tell me what you think about that. It'll be a fantastic game to watch. Other than that, it's International Week. There's not a lot of news going about. There's fantastic bit of news, obviously, that the money that Celtic made last season, and quite a bit of money it was too, 30 odd million just in prize money. But we all know what happened to that. It's just sitting in the bank. At the end of the day, we need to buy players that are first team ready. On that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all around the world, and I'll see you on the next video.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party.